Imagine the scent of damp earth, thick and heavy, clinging to your nostrils like a shroud. The rustle of unseen things in the tall grass, a whisper that could be the wind or something far more sinister, slithering closer. And the chilling echo of a distant drumbeat, not a rhythm of celebration, but a slow, deliberate pulse, counting down to something terrible. Now, picture a village, Nee-mo, nestled deep within the lush, deceptive beauty of Africa's heartland. A place where those sounds aren't just background noise. They're the prelude to your worst nightmare, a symphony of dread conducted by ancient forces. Because in Nee-mo, the cursed beats are more than just a legend whispered around crackling fires. They're a promise of terror, a promise etched in blood and bone, a promise that's about to be fulfilled. Tonight, the beats will rattle, and Nee-mo will learn, once again, the true meaning of fear. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment horror. And I personally welcome you into the family. With that said, let's get started. These beads, once thought to bring fortune and prosperity, have become a symbol of dread, a chilling reminder of broken promises and twisted desires. Crafted by a master artisan, a man named Adibeo, their beauty captivated many, drawing people in like moths to a flame. Each bead, a perfect sphere of obsidian, gleamed with an inner light, a deceptive shimmer that promised untold riches and endless joy. But Adibeo, driven by a dark ambition, infused them with a power far beyond their surface beauty. He sought not merely to create ornaments, but to bind the very essence of luck and fortune to his creations, to control the capricious whims of fate itself. What he didn't realize, or perhaps didn't care, was that such power demanded a terrible price. Whispers began to circulate, tales of those who possessed the beads, stories that started with fleeting moments of good fortune, but quickly descended into nightmares. Crops withered, loved ones fell ill, and the very air seemed to crackle with malevolence. The beads, once a source of hope, became a conduit for darkness, a tangible manifestation of the ancient adage, "Be careful what you wish for." But what is the true story behind these seemingly perfect ornaments? What dark pact did Adibeo forge? What ancient spirits did he awaken? And most importantly, what price did Nee-mo pay for his hubris? Local legend has it that these beads were created during a time of great strife, a period when the very soul of Nee-mo seemed to wither under the weight of famine and despair. The village elders, desperate for salvation, turned to Adibeo, the most skilled artisan in the land, pleading for a miracle. He crafted the beads, imbued with what they believed to be the essence of benevolent spirits, intended to bring prosperity back to the village. At first, they worked wonders. Wealth poured in like a torrential rain after a long drought. Love blossomed with an intensity that warmed even the coldest hearts, and dreams, once fragile whispers, turned into vibrant, tangible realities. Families adorned themselves with the beads, their obsidian surfaces reflecting the newfound joy in their eyes, feeling invincible as their fortunes grew beyond their wildest imaginations. Children laughed with unrestrained glee, their bellies full, their futures bright. The village thrived, a beacon of hope amidst the sea of hardship. The markets overflowed with goods, the fields yielded bountiful harvest, and the air hummed with the melody of celebration. And the beads became a source of immense pride, not just mere ornaments, but a tangible symbol of the resilience and unwavering hope of the people of Nee-mo. They were a testament to their ability to rise from the ashes, to reclaim their destiny from the jaws of despair. But little did they know, this golden age was built on a foundation of sand, a fragile illusion that would soon crumble, plunging them into an abyss of darkness. However, as time passed, the joy began to turn sour, like milk left too long in the scorching sun. The vibrant hues of celebration faded, replaced by the pallid gray of fear. Those who wore the beads, once radiating confidence, started to experience misfortunes that began innocently enough: a missed market day, a stumble on a familiar path, a sudden, inexplicable chill, but escalated rapidly, like a festering wound spreading its poison. A prized goat mysteriously died, a child fell gravely ill, a house was consumed by flames in the dead of night. Rumors spread like wildfire, carried on the whispers of the wind, each tale more terrifying than the last. Once joyous gatherings, filled with laughter and song, turned into hushed conversations filled with fear and uncertainty, the air thick with unspoken dread. The marketplace, once a bustling hub of commerce, fell silent, the stalls empty, the laughter gone. Families huddled in their homes, their eyes wide with terror, the beads now cold and heavy around their necks. What was happening to the village? Was it a curse? A punishment? Or something far more sinister, something that lurked in the shadows, feeding on their despair? We spoke to villagers who shared their chilling experiences, their voices trembling, their eyes filled with a haunting sorrow. One elderly woman, Aya Fatima, her face etched with the lines of grief, recounted how her husband, once a thriving merchant, a man whose laughter filled their home, lost everything, every single thing, after he gifted the beads to their beloved daughter, Aisha. Her life, once a tapestry of joy and promise, changed drastically the moment she put them on, the obsidian beads clinging to her delicate neck like a serpent's embrace. She described a series of unfortunate events, each one a hammer blow to their once happy existence, a fire that consumed their home, reducing their cherished memories to ash and cinder, the flames licking at the night sky like hungry demons. Sickness that claimed their livestock, one by one, their pitiful cries echoing through the empty pens, a grim symphony of despair. And eventually, the departure of their daughter, Aisha, who could no longer bear the weight of the curse, the crushing weight of those cursed beads. She vanished into the night, a shadow slipping through the darkness, leaving behind only a whisper of her name and the lingering scent of fear. Aya Fatima's voice cracked as she recounted the final, heart-wrenching moment, her eyes welling with tears. She looked at me, her eyes hollow, and said, "Mama, they want me. They won't let me stay." And then, she was gone, swallowed by the darkness, leaving me with nothing but these cursed memories. As more people succumbed to the beat's curse, the very fabric of reality in Nee-mo began to fray, unraveling like an old, tattered cloth. Strange occurrences began to plague the village, unsettling the very core of their existence. Shadows moved without owners, stretching and contorting in unnatural ways, as if they possessed a life of their own. Whispers echoed in the night, not the gentle murmur of the wind, but chilling, disembodied voices that spoke of forgotten sins and impending doom. And visions of lost loved ones, their faces gaunt and distorted, haunted those associated with the beads, appearing in fleeting glimpses, their eyes filled with accusation and despair. One night, a local hunter, a man named Emeka, known for his bravery and steady hand, returned from the woods, his face ashen, his eyes wide with terror. He reported seeing ghostly apparitions, their forms shimmering and translucent, moving through the trees like wraiths. Their eyes glowed with an unearthly light, a cold, malevolent luminescence that pierced the darkness, sending shivers down his spine. He claimed they were the spirits of those who had fallen victim to the beat's curse, their souls trapped, tethered to the earthly realm by the cursed objects. They moved with a chilling silence, their spectral fingers outstretched, warning others of the danger, their voices a mournful chorus carried on the wind. The beads, they hunger, they take. Emeka recounted, his voice trembling, "They told me to warn you, to flee, before it's too late." Curiosity and fear, a morbid fascination with the unknown, piqued the interest of seasoned paranormal investigators. They, hardened by years of chasing shadows and documenting the unexplainable, believed they could rationalize the terror-gripping Nee-mo, armed with high-tech cameras, electromagnetic field readers, and specialized audio equipment. They hoped to uncover the objective truth behind the beat's dark history, to dissect the legend and lay bare the facts. Their journey into the heart of Nee-mo, a village shrouded in a palpable dread, would prove far more terrifying, far more visceral, than they had ever anticipated. The investigators, initially confident, met with the remaining locals, their faces etched with a weariness that spoke of sleepless nights and unending fear. They meticulously collected stories, each one a fragment of a broken soul, and examined artifacts related to the beats, worn, tarnished objects that seemed to radiate a cold, unsettling energy. Each tale added a layer to the chilling narrative, revealing a pattern of despair and sorrow that seemed to envelop anyone, any object, any space connected to the beats. They documented the chilling accounts of lost children, haunted dreams, and the unsettling feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. One investigator, a skeptic by nature, noted an inexplicable drop in temperature whenever the beads were near, a coldness that seeped into their bones, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed. They began to feel a presence, a heavy oppressive feeling, like a weight on their chest. A feeling of being watched, from every shadow. The investigators began to question their own sanity. One fateful night, driven by a desperate need to understand the encroaching darkness, the investigators made the reckless decision to set up camp in an abandoned house, a place whispered to be the epicenter of the beat's malevolent influence. The house, its walls scarred by time and shadowed by tragedy, stood as a silent sentinel against the encroaching night. As darkness fell, the air thickened with an oppressive tension, a suffocating blanket of dread that clung to their skin. The once reliable equipment began to malfunction erratically, screens flickering with static, dials spinning wildly, as if some unseen force was actively sabotaging their efforts. And then, the chilling voices began, not clear words, but fragmented whispers, a cacophony of mournful cries that seemed to emanate from the very walls, warnings from the tormented spirits of the cast, pleading for release, for an end to their eternal suffering. They captured bizarre phenomena on their recordings, evidence that defied all logic and reason, faint whispers, barely audible, begging for release, their voices laced with a desperate sorrow. Shadows darting in and out of view, not the playful shadows of the night, but dark, elongated figures that moved with unnatural speed, their forms shifting and contorting into grotesque shapes. One investigator, his hands trembling, recorded a disembodied voice whispering his name, a chilling intimacy that sent a wave of icy fear through his veins. Each investigator felt an inexplicable chill, a bone-deep coldness that seeped into their marrow, as if they were being watched by unseen eyes, their every move scrutinized by the tormented souls trapped within the house. The air was thick with the feeling of being touched, or brushed by something unseen, and the distinct smell of decay began to permeate the house. Then a loud bang, and the sound of dragging chains, came from the basement. Witnesses, their voices hushed with a fear that echoed through generations, reported that the tormented spirits of those who suffered under the beat's curse still lingered, trapped between worlds, their ethereal forms forever bound to the source of their agony. They moved like phantoms, their eyes burning with a cold, spectral fire, their voices a mournful chorus carried on the wind, forever warning against the deceptive allure of the beats, a siren's call to oblivion. An elder, his face a roadmap of sorrow and wisdom, his eyes reflecting the weight of countless tragedies, implored, his voice trembling with urgency, leave the beads be, or face the consequences. They are not mere objects, but conduits of ancient darkness, gateways to a suffering beyond mortal comprehension. But would anyone, blinded by greed or driven by desperation, truly heed the chilling warning? With trembling hands, the elder recounted the harrowing stories of those who, in their folly, tried to rid themselves of the beads, believing they could escape the curse's grasp. They attempted to bury them deep beneath the earth, to cast them into the depths of the river, even to shatter them into 1,000 pieces. But each attempt only unleashed greater misfortune, a torrent of suffering that engulfed them and their loved ones. The beads, it seemed, were not mere objects, but living entities, their malevolence growing stronger with each act of defiance. Their warnings were not to be taken lightly, for they were etched in the very fabric of Nee-mo's tormented history, a chilling testament to the price of hubris and the insatiable hunger of the cursed beads. The investigators, their faces pale, their minds reeling from the horrors they witnessed, left Nee-mo with more questions than answers, their once unwavering belief in the rational world shattered. The beads, now trapped in a perpetual cycle of fleeting fortune and devastating doom, serve as a chilling reminder, etched in the very air of the village, that beauty can often hide the darkest of secrets, that the most alluring treasures can conceal the most terrifying curses. They carried with them not only the physical evidence of their investigation, but also the weight of the village's collective terror, a burden that would forever haunt their dreams. They wondered, their voices barely above a whisper, who would be the next to fall victim to the beats' insatiable hunger. Would it be a desperate villager, seeking a moment of respite from their suffering? Or would it be an outsider, drawn to the beats' deceptive beauty, unaware of the darkness that lurked beneath? The villagers themselves were torn between the alluring promise of restored prosperity, the whispers of fleeting good fortune, and the paralyzing fear of their dark legacy, the chilling tales of loss and despair passed down through generations. They were trapped in a terrifying limbo, a constant struggle between hope and horror, their lives forever shadowed by the cursed beats of Nee-mo, their fates hanging precariously in the balance. The cursed beats of Nee-mo continue to mystify and terrify. Would you dare to wear them? Perhaps some treasures are best left untouched. As the sun sets over the village, the air hangs thick with the unspoken stories of those who dared to embrace the curse. If you enjoyed this tale, hit the like button, share and subscribe for more eerie stories from Africa. Join us next time as we bring the most horrorful stories you never know existed.